We know that men operate from a logic element, being logical and systematic, and we know that females operate from an emotional basis. For females to try and operate in male spaces, that they have to become more masculine for them to function in that space. That's why women working in like in fields where men dominate, they have to become like the man. They have to compete against the man. Yes, of course, some females have succeeded as to operate successfully in those fields. Yet my point is that for society to function, we need masculinity. Even though now there's a push towards a lack of, like, less than toxic masculinity. You look at the watch, the way it operates. Any watch will have an order and system and a logical approach. You look at the mechanics in the vehicle, there's that logical approach. And the people working in those vehicles, they have to have routine, like the way you do a vehicle checkup after several hours of driving, after several kilometers on the odometer. You gotta have this service. Very masculine routines. Men, when they have a job, a man will go home to his wife and he'll go to work. Routine. These are the very things women fight against. If a woman is in a relationship with a man, men create routine because that's order. He can manage that. If something is out of order, it's like, okay, that's not working properly. In the same way, we have a watch, a clock ticking, we'll have a certain thing. The arm is out of order, or the second hand is out of order. So men are geared towards that. Females, for the most part, and unfortunately, back in the day, we didn't hear much about it, but now we know now because of social media. For the most part, they require spontaneity. And there it is, type of thing. Oh, what's that? You know, so the society was conditioned, or the structure was built in such a way that the woman was not too loose to just go for anything. Her man or her husband was selected for her by her father based on he knew the tendencies and he knew what man was good for her. They weren't just allowed to just go and get whatever they wanted. Um, and of course, they saw that as oppression. But if you look at the men now who try to obtain these females or keep these females that are, beautiful, they cannot be satisfied with that man because that man wants order and routine, and they'll say, oh, he's too boring for me. I want some I want some, some some spontaneity. I want to I want to feel alive. So they'll create the drama because the man is being boring and a good guy. That's why you have this toxic dating scene. And that's why men are getting quote unquote red pilled by women in such a way that they get burned trying to do the right thing. The very things that work in their mechanical work shed or garage are not working in their relationship. It's good enough you show up to work and do what you do and you succeed at that and the results show for themselves. Now you could have the same routines. You could have your children going to college and paying for everything. You could have your woman well dressed, well fed, well sheltered with her own car. But you could still find yourself heartbroken by a woman who is not satisfied, who is not happy, because women are dissatisfied with routine. That then means that men are doomed for trying. That's why I don't encourage marriages because women get easily bored. Boredom is one of those things that easily happens. And of course, it's enhanced when you talk about social media projecting this idea that, hey, you don't have to be where you are. There's been women who have put out TikToks to say, don't be ashamed about leaving a good guy. It's just that you have outgrown him or he's not satisfying you. Don't feel bad if you cheat on him. It means he's not, he's yes, he's paying for you. Yes, he's got you here. He's got you there. He's covering you. But he's not taking care of you in the bedroom. And it's his job to make sure you're happy. So don't be afraid of cheating on him. You see, so then the losers who have nothing in society, who historically wouldn't have the play that they get your woman's coochie. They get access to a woman you paid a lot for. So when men say, if this is what I'm getting by paying for these things, let's just have it a loose free market, since that's what y'all women want. Men naturally want to protect. Men naturally want to take care of. It's in our nature. That's why you see the routines. I have routines going to work. I have a routine for my business. I have a routine with my child. It's just the way we're wired. Logic and systems. The train's on time because men put the systems there. You go to the airplane, you're catching a flight on time because that system men put there. This is who we are. It's just that the woman has changed so much that she wants her desire for chaos to be validated, to be a part of the relationship. And then the other part is that this is why I can't talk to women in terms of advice, because when I speak to young men, they will be like, "Oh, really?" Like, let's say we're training, I'm teaching them how to train. Make sure you do like this. They listen, they really, really take it all in. Women wait until their years of being beautiful is on the decline. Being fertile is on the. Matter of fact, it's when it's too late. It's like you ask somebody for friend of yours. You're like, how much are your mangoes? You got some beautiful mangoes over there, and then they give you a price too high, okay? And you're like, but why are those so expensive when they're just mangoes? And she's like, okay, these are the best mangoes in the world, so to speak. And then when they start to rot, that's when they bring them over. Like, you still want those mangoes? And you're like, no, no, we can't pay for mangoes that are rotten, especially when there's mangoes somewhere else where I can get them. I feel like women wait until it's too late. There's no advising early. Well, if you're advising early, why are you bashing women? Why are you looking down on women? This is not the 1950s. I'm like, no, I know as a man, like if I see a car screeching, like I'm like, the belt is loose, or you need to, or you put oil in your car. We warn each other as men. We look at these things and say, hey, if you keep going like that, it's gonna be bad. But females come to you first, they shame you, then they come to you when it's too late. It's too late. It's over. When she's old with a child or two children, two baby daddies, and then she want to hit you up and say, "Hey, what's going on? How you been?" And now you lost all interest, like that rotten fruit. But young men can be corrected. Oftentimes, I'm able to correct the young men in my life. They listen and they make adjustments accordingly, and they're better off for it. I've seen results. But I'm always amazed how women are very adverse to advice, but yet they take on all the toxicity that the feminist movements feeds them. And like they'll take that in, and the negative image that's projected on social media, they'll take that in. But let a man come and just be loving, because that's love. That's how we made love, and say, hey, honey, you got to, like this and this. If you keep going like this, you're gonna lose. I got a little cousin that I feel like if she had taken my advice, she'd be better off when she was 19. Now she's 24. So I've learned that females do not want advice from men. They want the men's resources when they're older and out, and they want to shame the man for making the decisions they made after a man took, like he did the whole delayed gratification. A man goes without for a long time, and now he finally has something, and the woman says, "Well, you should be giving me some of that." You're like, "No, I'm good. This is what I want. I want somebody who's a bit younger, who I can talk to, I can speak to, who I can get through to." Oh no, they don't want, they don't want the older because they don't like the challenge. Start shaming men. So the point is, men, adhere to correction, but don't be afraid, and be okay with setting your life in a good routine, a healthy routine. Train, eat healthy, go to work. Don't be ashamed of being boring, because a lot of guys who have anything in life of substance have routines. A routine, a way of doing things, is healthy. It keeps your mind, you know where your keys are. You don't have random text messages from girls. You don't have this crazy chaos coming through. Routines, systems is what we run on. Computers have routines and systems. Women rely on them. Phones have systems and routines. So don't feel like you need to spice your life up. There's nothing wrong with going on vacations and adventures, but your life does not need to be this up or down thing because of women. Get your routines in there. Get your systems in healthy routines. Get rid of bad habits, and you'd be amazed how far you go with your life. You know. Um, yeah. Take care.